Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is a honor to be presenter in this International Journal Seminar BIC 2020. Let me introduce myself. My name is Susilo Nugroho. I'm the first author of this paper, and I'm going to present our newest article titled Comparison Analysis of Jakarta Composite Index on Indonesia Stock Exchange before and after COVID-19. And this is what my research has been looking at, so let's get started. As we know, the capital market is a long-term financial instrument securities trading platform that brings together investor and insurer in a place, namely the Indonesia Stock Exchange or IDX. One of traded instrument is stock. The growth of the stock index on the stock exchange is a reflection of the country economic growth. So, if the stock index increases, it can be said that the country economic growth is good, and vice versa. If the stock index decrease, it can be said that the country economic growth is not good. At the end of December 2019, the first case of coronavirus transmission appeared in Wuhan. The impact of the spread this virus is the weakening of all sectors of the economy country. The decline in the amount of company income and the weakening purchasing power of the public created panic among investors. Based on previous explanation, it can be seen that the COVID-19 pandemic case that occurred could affect the fluctuation of stock transaction performance as a market reaction that deserved to be tested for its effect. According to Jogianto 2008, the Jakarta Composite Index is actually a stock price index number that has been completed and calculated to product a trend, where the index number is a number that is processed in such a way that it can be used to compare events in the form of change in stock price from time to time. In this calculation, the index uses a base time value as well as a running time is value. The COVID-19 pandemic is an infectious disease caused by the newly discovered coronavirus WHO 2020D. Its rapid spread and domino effect on the economy country make the COVID-19 pandemic a major disaster that must be overcome immediately. Signaling theory. According to Scott Beasley and Eugene F. Brigham, 2008, signal in action taken by management in providing a clue to investor about how management views the company prospect. Announcement of information about the company prospect, good or bad, will affect the trading volume of share. Event study. The definition is a study that studies market reaction to an event where information is published as an announcement. Jogianto 2003. Event become a cause of change that is taking a place and sometimes their effect can change things that never existed before. The method used in this research is quantitative, with a population and sample of the Jakarta Composite Index is 30 months or 15 months before and after the emergence of COVID-19, which is recorded in the IDX. The data used is secondary. Data obtained from the source of finance.yahoo.com. The test conducted in the study was the normality test with the Sapporo wheel and paired sample test. The null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis are selected with assumption that null hypothesis, there is no difference between the Jakarta Composite Index for the 15 months before and after the emergence of the COVID-19 case. Alternative hypothesis, there is a difference between the Jakarta Composite Index for the 15 months before and after the emergence of the COVID case. Based on bar 4.1, it can be seen that the price movement of the GCI are influenced by change in information status after the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic around the world. The value growth of the stock price index before the emergence of the COVID-19 case experienced a good trend. Recorded in February 2019, the stock index value was 6,552 rupiah. And in November 2019, it was at 5,855 rupiah, which is the lowest value. The situation is inversely proportional to the Jakarta Composite Index value when the first COVID-19 case appeared in Wuhan, China. The trend of index development has decreased and it's slowly starting to improve. In March 2020, the index value was recorded at 4,539 rupiah. This was the largest decrease that occurred during the last 30 months with a decrease of 16.76% in that period. The significant value normality suffering will test before was 0.142 and after was 0.086. This value is greater than alpha, so it can be said that the data is normal distributed. The result of the analysis from table 4.2 show the average value of the Jakarta Composite Index before and after the emergence of COVID-19 case was 6,170.33 and 555. From the average value of the Jakarta Composite Index after the emergence of the COVID case. This means that the spread of information about the outbreak of the coronavirus disease that occurred throughout the country can affect the decline in the Jakarta Composite Index. The resulting correlation coefficient value is minus 0.697, with a significant value was 0.004, less than alpha. From this result, it can be seen that there is a negative and significant relationship between the Jakarta Composite Index in May 2018 to October 2020, where before the after emergence of the COVID-19 case occurred. The output result in table 4.4 show the tick count is 3.360 and the mean is 715.47. The significant value of net is 0.006 less than alpha, which indicated is a positive and significant relationship. So it can be concluded that null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted, which indicated that there is a difference in the value of the Jakarta Composite Index before and after the emergence of the COVID-19 case. The results of this study are in line with previous research. Conclusion: the result of research conducted in finding whether there are a difference in a value of the Jakarta Composite Index listed on the Indonesia Stock Exchange before and after the emergence of COVID-19 case show a positive and significant result where there is a mean difference of 715.47. And hypothesis testing that accept that hypothesis alternative and reject null hypothesis. Their results are in line with the research that has been conducted by various researchers. Suggestion: investors who invest in the domestic capital market are expected not to rush into making discussion based on information that is misleading, aware of event that is happened and are more throughout in analyzing and calculating the prospect for benefit in the long term compared to the short term. The best opportunity into invest in stock is during the COVID-19 pandemic, because when foreign and domestic investors speculate badly and choose to sell their share at a cheap price, that's the right time to buy their share. The Jakarta Composite Index is a composite index that has fast and stable growth compared to the composite index of ASEAN country. This is a benchmark that can be used to believe that you can be more patient and not rush into making investment discussion. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.